Welcome back to a Munchausen's Proxy, and this is the video I should have put out before I put The Last of Us Episode 5 out, but I went to record the audio and completely forgot what the hell Episode 2 of the Ark was about. So, this is going to be your quick and dirty review of Episode 2 and 3. Now, the second episode was better than the first, but not by much. We have continued bickering between the three lieutenants, and it's still in crisis mode. They've got an ongoing storyline where they're still trying to figure out the water recycling issues, and that's compounded in this episode by the murder weapon having been flushed down the water system and wound up bursting a pipe in the farming dome that they're trying to set up to extend the food supply that they have. So that's the one thing that they had going on. And then you have one of the idiots. Well, let me back up. You had three guys go out on an EVA, and that's like at the very beginning of the episode. And just as they're getting to the point where they anchor to the hull of the ship to investigate what it was that hit them and triggered the whole disaster in the first place, they wind up with a warning from the bridge that debris is about to break loose. Well, one guy gets clonked on the head and luckily doesn't break his spacesuit's helmet, and another guy winds up impaled and dies. So they get those three idiots in, and later in the episode, the two guys who survive, two of the lieutenants, are told by the third lieutenant that they're too valuable to risk. Now, mind you, one of them is the only navigator left on the entire ship. So that guy should be wrapped in bubble wrap. And later in the episode, he decides to go EVA by himself. And he gets to one of the impact points, and he realizes it's not an impact point because the metal of the hull is actually melted, as if they accidentally brushed by the sun or something. And inside the hole it created is some kind of white crystal. And in a move so stupid, I was practically face-palming as I saw it. He reaches in with his gloved hand, picks out the crystal, and then crushes it, and it starts dissolving his freaking glove. I don't know how they run this space outfit in the future on this show, but this is not how science works. You don't grab something and then just start, feeling around with it with your hands. That's what tools are for. If tools get dissolved, no biggie. If your hand gets dissolved, you're in a bit of trouble. Especially since if your hand starts getting dissolved, the rest of your arm could get dissolved and your suit could be compromised, thereby ending you. So that was going on. And they wind up getting him inside the ship, and he didn't have too much damage done. And annoying girl is still annoying. They have this, of course, girl genius, and oh my god, they need to trank her because girl is hyperactive and just will not shut up. And of course, everybody treats her as, oh my god, genius girl's gonna save us on this or that every episode. It's ridiculous. The entire show would benefit greatly if she were spaced. And somehow, this twit has two dorks circling her who are hot for her. And let's see, what else? Oh, they find a ship's therapist because everybody's freaking losing it after there was a riot in the mess hall. And apparently the female lieutenant, who is kind of the acting captain, is Bruce Lee reborn, because she just went in there and started throwing guys 6 inches taller than her and 100 pounds heavier than her, just beating the crap out of them. So that was episode 2. Episode 3, basically, they spent most of the episode dodging an asteroid. Now, at the end of last episode, the ship stops because the chick in charge of engineering rerouted the water needed for the engines in order to give them a few more days to figure some crap out and maybe get the water recycling plant going. Beginning of this episode, we find out they're headed straight for an asteroid. Now, this asteroid thing, to begin with, is utterly idiotic, and it gets even more idiotic at about the halfway mark. They should have found this asteroid or seen this asteroid way before they did, because they're going to hit the asteroid in a matter of hours. Not days or weeks, hours. And I'm calling bullshit on that one. But anyway, they spend most of the episode trying to figure out some way to dodge the asteroid. And then the eventual solution that they come up with is just straight up ripped off from The Martian, where they basically blow a hole in the ship to produce a reverse thrust. Yeah, same idea here. They basically make an IED and put it against the hull of the ship and use the venting gas to create thrust. So that's basically how they do that. And it's about then that annoying girl, alone on the ship, realizes that it's not an asteroid, it's a comet. And what do the people on the ship need? They need water. What is the comet made out of? Water. So they decide to mine the asteroid. And they do that, and there's some drama in that, but nothing overly interesting. And they end the show with the asshole lieutenant discovering that the lead lieutenant was a badass who killed somebody in a bar fight by slitting their throat with a bottle. Coincidentally, an awful lot like the murder that happened in the first episode. So, what did I think after 3 episodes? Well, episode 1, I was pretty sure I was going to be done with this show. Episode 2 got better, but I was still thinking I was done, and the fact that I completely forgot everything except for dude getting his hand melted didn't bode well for that, but I rewatched the episode and it got better. Episode 3 was actually pretty good. I mean, besides the plagiarism of stealing from The Martian and annoying girl being like their deus ex machina, basically whenever a situation comes up, she's going to come up with the answer. So other than those 2 things, it got better. What I really wish was that they didn't try to girl boss this crew so much. The lead lieutenant is a female. The lead engineer is a female. The annoying girl who figures everything out is a girl. The ship's therapist that they now have is a girl. And the guys are all basically betas. There is not an alpha on that entire crew, with the possible exception of the navigator and the security guy. at least in a position of authority. Everybody else is female. And the way the crew interactions are just, they're off because they try to handle the girl bosses with kid gloves in the script. And that's just not how organizations naturally function. Through 3 episodes, I can think of one time where, make that 2 times, where the solution to anything came from a male voice. Everything else has come through a female. And it is kind of feeling forced through 3 episodes. I'm not saying it's a bad show yet, but current day Hollywood is definitely showing its influence on this show. And it's a shame because there are some good male characters in this show, but they are not utilized to the fullest extent of what they could be. And some of the females are overused, especially Girl Genius, Captain Annoying. We could do with a lot less of her. But that's my quick and dirty review of Syfy's The Ark, episode 2 and 3. If you like what I do here, please hit the like button and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure the bell icon is clicked on so you are notified when new videos upload. And please comment down below. It really helps out the channel, and I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time for probably what will be The Last of Us Episode 6 spoiler review. Until then, tschüss.